Hey guys, it's November 10th, 2017, and the November Video Marathon 2017 continues. This is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. Um, so I just woke up. It's about 11 p.m. Central where I am, so I'm cutting it kind of close today. This is my video for the day. It's hard to think because I was, bombarded by microwave radiation while I slept, non-ionizing microwave radiation while I slept. Right when I wake up, I probably woke up about 30 minutes ago. It's hard to think. It's really hard to think because it's just like they're inundating my system with directed energy. Um, So right when I wake up, it's hard to visualize or pull my thoughts together. Usually about 2 hours after I wake up, I feel a little bit better. Um, but I did want to make a short video tonight. It's really cold outside. I don't want to make a video tonight. There were some conference calls last night, and I kind of did an impromptu interview with Ella. Because she didn't really have anybody lined up for her show. And so I kind of gave my background, how all this started with me on her show. So I think she's probably going to put that up online. But you can go check it out on TalkShoe at her number 141476 on November 9th. And then I had an after call, so it was a long night. She had an emergency like during the middle of the interview, so I kind of had to take over. I had to start moderating the call and and basically moderating my own questions, people asking me questions, and then I had to do an after call. So by the end of the night, I was pretty tired. I was pretty worn out, because while I'm doing all this, I have straight V2K the entire time. So straight conversation, and well, the calls are really good because, while I'm doing that, it kind of becomes background noise. It's easier to ignore the V2K. But I kind of wanted to talk about, in my after call, we were talking about how Bill Binney was appointed by Donald Trump. Come on, Pat. She's being troublesome tonight. How Bill Binney was appointed by Donald Trump to. You can see my shadow. It's like my shadow is talking. Bill Binney was appointed by Donald Trump to basically go and speak to the head, the director of the CIA, about the DNC hack, to let him know, because Bill Binney researched the DNC hack and was basically finding out that it couldn't have been Russia, that it really could have been anybody, and it didn't necessarily need to be. It wasn't necessarily Russia who did the DNC hack, but that's not really the point. The excitement in that. And that Bill Binney was appointed by Trump to go speak to the head of the CIA, and he's also scheduled to talk to some of the other heads of the agencies about the DNC hack. That's exciting news for targeted individuals, because Bill Binney is heading up, with a bunch of targeted individuals, and he may be targeted a little bit himself, but I don't think to the point where, like we are. But I mean, that's exciting because he's doing the global TI survey. So, what that says to me, kind of editorializing here, and it's really cold out here, so my teeth may be chattering a little bit. But what that says to me is that, he does speak to Trump. Like, he does speak to Trump, and then I've heard that when Trump visited Poland, he was given a note. He was given a note by one of the heads of the TI groups in Poland, talking about this, saying that that they were a targeted individual, and this was happening all over the world. So from what I've gathered with my feelers and my research, is that Trump does know about this, that he's heard about targeted individuals. Even, I even heard that Karen Stewart, sent him an email and had correspondence with him, and that Donald Trump, sent her correspondence back stating that he knew about her situation, with the NSA. And like, I don't know how much that has to do with just her, like her being targeted, but he sent her correspondence back, stating that he knew about her situation, and that he would get back to her on it. So, from all that I've heard, and especially this new Bill Binney development, is that Trump does know about targeted individuals. He does know about this program. So there's a little bit of hope there. He might try and kind of reconfigure things. I don't think it'll be him coming out, on a podium and talking about this program, but he might be, kind of trying to close things up on this program. We might have some hope there of him helping us, especially if he's appointing somebody like Bill Binney to go and go and talk to the CIA director about a lot of important issues like hacking and cyber hacking, which is basically targeting computer systems in the United States. But that was very, very hopeful to me, and I'll try and read the article and some other articles about the Cuban embassy attack. But I did want to make a short video tonight. I'm kind of cutting it close. But I said, guys, that I might not, make a video every day. I'm kind of just trying to point at something interesting. I'll walk this way. See if I can see the cell phone tower out back, or Death Tower, as I call them. But that was really hopeful. And we talked about that on my after call. We talked about a lot of stuff on my after call, and it was kind of great to do that interview. I've told about the background of my targeting, and it's so many years of it that it's hard to kind of cover everything, and so kind of going over it a bunch of times helps me to figure things out. And I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things. Like, when I first started hearing the high-pitched sound, it really seemed like, it was somebody with an emitter that was just a ground emitter, and they were like positioning it from their apartment to mine. But I would also hear it, when I'd go to extended stays, I would hear the high-pitched sound, but it would taper off because they were trying to make me believe that it was like my ears healing up. So, when things started, it's like I had a certain perception of what was happening. So you kind of have to go back and say, was that really happening? Because the targeting plays on our perception. They try and make it sound like it's coming from your neighbor when it might not be, or the neighbor might have ground weapons. So it gets very confusing. So you gotta kind of go over what's happening, and with the knowledge that you have now of directed energy weapon systems and how it was all kind of going on. And I'm like shaking. It is so cold out here. I can't really see. I don't think I can see the cell phone tower from here. But check out that interview. It's kind of stuff that I went through at the beginning of the November video marathon. But there was 10 years before I knew I was being targeted, where stuff was happening. So getting that all sorted out. I'm still kind of asking questions like, how did this all happen? How did I get into this? What was done when, and why did they eventually just turn it up to a 10, I guess, with the V2K, you know, the high-pitched sound, the high-pitched tinnitus sound, just a full-blown, you know, trauma-based mind direction program, or directed energy weapons experimentation program. You know, but so I guess that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. But it's very, very promising. Where is that cell phone tower? Very promising that Trump actually appointed Bill Binney to go and speak to the director of the CIA about the DNC hack. Oh, there it is. It's like right there. You can't see it on camera. It's like right in the middle, like between those trees that are kind of down. That must be like 200. No, it's probably like 300 yards away. But it's very, very promising because he's heading up the global TI survey, and it makes me think that you know, he has a lot of connections. Bill Binney has a lot of connections, and a lot of these people working on this industry of murdering Americans, experimenting on Americans, torturing children and women, and experimenting on innocent Americans, that it's very compartmentalized, even up at the top. So, you know, I was saying we need to get this information out, and we need to kind of pull it together on what we know, on what the victims, or the survivors, I'll call us survivors, not victims, what the survivors are experiencing, because we pull it together, and what's happening to us is very non-compartmentalized. We're experiencing every angle of it from the wrong side. But if we can tell the people who are in this kind of compartmentalized world and they don't know what they're doing, they don't know the big picture of what they're doing, which is murdering American citizens and citizens around the world, then it can uncompartmentalize it for them. And I think that's a great promise of what the global TI survey can do. With Bill Binney's contacts, you know, and Kirk Wiebe's contacts, you know, it can uncompartmentalize it for the people that, you know, for the people, their connections in Washington, in the media, you know. And Bill Binney was on, you know, he was on CNN. The kind of the worry is that they're starting to present him as a conspiracy theorist, and when he appears in articles, they're trying to put the word conspiracy theory in the title of the article in mainstream media. Now, for The Intercept, which is a little bit less mainstream, they didn't put the word conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory in the title of the article, but with the CNN articles, conspiracy theorist and conspiracy theory was all over their articles. So some TIs think that they're kind of trying to paint Bill Binney with that label before he comes out with any of this information about us. I don't know about that. I don't know if they're preparing for that. I think they're, you know, Bill Binney and Kirk Wiebe are probably playing this very, very close to the chest. You know, and getting all their contacts laid out and really planning it very well. I doubt they're just, you know, like a town crier like me. Alright guys, I'm getting to about 15 minutes. It's very, very cold out here, so I'm going to go ahead and get back inside. Torture was pretty severe when I was sleeping. While I was up, it wasn't too bad. It gets really bad when I'm laying down, even in the enclosure. Just as hard to think when I get up. It's you know, well, I won't go into all that. I'm getting to about 15 minutes, but you know, I'll talk more about stuff. The Bill Binney, Donald Trump appointing Bill Binney, some articles, and go through some Cuban embassy attack articles. You know, this month. All right, guys. I'll definitely see y'all on the next one. I love you guys. I hope y'all are doing well. And we are getting there. We are moving forward. So let's keep going and let's keep believing we can do this. Alright.